Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 48. Two away.
Wow.
Episode 48
Okay.
of Planet Film Live. I'm one of your hosts, Sean Monk.
I'm Merlos TJ Cornwell. Real quick, I think you played the wrong intro, but that's okay. Oh wait, did you? Oh no,
No, it was
I
the right
think
one.
I've just never like actually seen it played through. I feel like.
Oh,
Okay, so
I mean, that's fair enough.
because I think it has a mixture of the old logo too, so that's why I was confused.
It's the same noise as the old one, and it's the
Gotcha.
same middle part,
Right.
if that makes sense.
I feel like we're a little discombobulated already today. I don't know why.
Mm.
It's kind of weird. I put Danielle's not home, so I just I usually have like the colored LEDs going, but I just put I was just sitting here with my ring light, which is in the top right here.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, half my face is like a shadow. And this is literally just my LEDs that's like lighting the other half of my face. Like it almost looks like I have like a window open, which is kind of cool.
I'll say your lighting looks pretty good. I mean, it's got no color to it, but in terms of the actual lighting, it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Our hair is all out of whack right now. We got
I didn't go to the
going on.
office today, so I just took a shower and I was like, it doesn't really matter. I got a haircut on Friday. I've been on since I shaved, right? Yeah. That was like 2 weeks ago, I think. So I did that. So I'm gonna say what's new with me. Well, let me tell you, I'm going to see Fast 9 on Thursday.
Really?
Thursday night.
Really?
Yes. I'm coming to your theater. Are you gonna be there?
Thursday night, I believe I shall be. Yes.
All right, so I'll see you there. I've heard it's off the wall, so this should be very interesting. About like 2.5 hours, I heard too. So we'll see how that goes. Told you yesterday I finished the first Invincible Compendium, so that's issue 1 through 47. Two things I did not expect that I'm not going to say, obviously, but there were two things that happened. And I was like, oh, like I'm actually like kind of pleasantly surprised. Like, huh, okay. I'll be like, and I'm this isn't spoiling anything. I'll say that was kind of fast, but okay. I see, like, how we got there. And then there was one thing that happened that I was like, oh, I knew that was gonna happen. Like that I could have called that. Just watching the first season. I'm taking a break on the Invincible. I'm getting back to Batman, so I ordered an omnibus. It's by Grant Morrison. I think it's like 3 volumes. It's coming from Barnes and Noble because Amazon, I think, like had it back ordered or something, and it wasn't Prime or anything.
Am I getting this right? I think it's Brian Azzarello's. Yes, exactly. I got that exactly right. Sometimes I just shouldn't doubt myself. You should read Brian Azzarello's Joker. Fantastic run. Very good run.
I'll add that to the list.
Yeah, it's just real good. Sorry, I don't know why when you said Grant Morrison, the cover of that just popped in my head. It's kind of what gave us not so much the story elements, but more the look. Like that's kind of where like the long-haired, like greasy-haired kind of Joker first started. So yeah, it's got a lot of influence from there. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've been kind of going off this like one guy's TikTok account who like he has this huge collection of like just like omnibus or different comics and like mangas. Like he is literally everything. He just shows off, and people in the comments would be like, "Oh, what do you recommend for this, this, and this?" And then he'll like name a few or whatever. So I've been kind of like basing some of my decisions off what he has. So I think my plan is probably to read through that and then maybe go back to Invincible for the second omnibus, and then maybe I don't know after that. I watched Wrath of Khan 2 days ago. I was tad confused in the beginning because first I was like,
a lot of fans were. I'll tell you in a second.
That's the dad from Spy Kids. I was like, or the grandpa. I know he's been like hella other stuff.
Junie Cortez.
Yeah. And they were like they're referring to him like he was in the show, and I was like, oh, so he must be in the show. The first time I looked, I was like, he's not in the show. And then I was listening to Cinephiles, and they said it again, and I was like, oh, let me look again. And he's in like one episode. So I might actually go back and watch that episode to get some more context. Because
Can
I
tell you
wasn't
something?
what?
So about how I said a lot of people were confused about that
Yeah.
episode. Yes, he was. He was in 2 episodes, so it was like a
Oh, 2
two-parter.
episodes.
I think it was a two-parter. It was either a two-parter
Okay.
or 1 hour or something like that.
Right.
But it wasn't like anything. It wasn't like a massive Star Trek Christmas special with a brand new
Right.
villain Khan. It was just like, no, that guy was such a compelling villain.
Right.
Like they just brought him into the movie. But in the very beginning, so in the very beginning of the movie, you got Chekhov. He's inspecting the ship, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!" Like he starts realizing what
We
it
have to
is
get
and all
outta
this.
here.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And he's like, "I know exactly what's going down right now." And then when Khan finds him and he's interrogating Chekhov, he goes, "Ah, I never forget a face." You know that?
Mhm.
Khan and Chekhov never met in that
Never
episode.
met each other.
Never met in that episode at all. That's like the one person that he never met. I mean, now a lot of people, they just fill, like Robert Meyer Burnett like says all the time, you just fill in the headcanon of like, oh well, they probably crossed paths in engineering or something, like that kind of thing. But yeah, that's just some funny stuff that I just think it's so funny. I mean, not just me. That's like one of the funnier kind of like in jokes about like for like Star Trek fans. Just the fact that like Khan says the line so confidently, like I never forget a face, and they wrote it like that, and it's the one person he was never on screen with. Like out of everyone else, they picked the one person he never interacted with. I thought that was so funny. It's kind of like Anakin and General Grievous never meeting each other somehow.
And then I was like, oh, Kirstie Alley's in this movie, and I was like, oh, surely, like, I feel like Kiwi Strawberry. Oh, she thought it was grapefruit ice. She didn't have she had a role, but like I feel like she wasn't in it that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it obviously became as soon as they had to go and hunt Khan down, it kind of became Kirk's story again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that one. So that's 2 of what total Star Trek movies? 9?
No, there's more than 9. There's like 13.
13? Okay,
Yeah.
so 2 of 13. So I'm slowly but surely making my way through.
You got the best one down. Yeah, 2 of the best ones down.
Anything else happened to me this week? I went out to a few bars actually. It's the first time I've been out since my 21st birthday in 2019. It was something. So I've been training for this weekend. Not in beer though, only in like liquors. So I can't promise I'll be any good. What else happened?
I mean, I'll just say purple team all the way, but I feel like I'm so out of practice.
Right. I also meant to tell you this. So Prime Day is currently on right now.
Oh yeah.
I think it's on for another like 6 hours or something. Deal, which I might actually take advantage of. Lord of the Rings Trilogy Extended Edition and Theatrical 4K.
Blu-ray?
$60. 4K.
You're joking.
I'm not joking. On Amazon right now. Which I was like, should I? And I was like, it's something I'm gonna have to talk myself into. But
I mean, the trouble is, I already own them.
Oh, see, I was gonna say
in digital, but I don't have the physical. It'll hang in the special features.
Do you own them in 4K?
I own them in the 4K digital, yes, but 4K digital is not the same as a 4K Blu-ray on my TV on the PlayStation 5.
Right.
That's going to be a very different experience.
The other thing I did, I planned.
Oh my god! Look at that. Yeah, you are right, bro.
Yeah.
$60.
The one thing they didn't do, so I like the last Prime Day, I'm pretty sure I bought like a few digital movies like on Prime Video, like they were 4K, like pretty cheap, like $5 or something. And this time they didn't really have that. Like I think I bought like Interstellar last time for cheap. Moneyball was cheap. Amadeus was cheap. I don't think it was 4K, but they didn't really have any of those like digital Prime Video deals that I saw that were like, oh wow, that's a really good deal. Or at least if it was a good deal, it wasn't in 4K, which I was like, oh well, what's the point? That's the other thing I did is I finished Ratchet and Clank, like finished it.
You finished it.
I did. I platinumed it. Easy platinum. I highly recommend. Have you played anymore since I asked you about it like whatever time that like a
Yeah.
few weeks ago?
Yeah, I've been
2 weeks?
playing at it. I have tomorrow off. So I'm actually going to try and do I'm going to see The Quiet Place finally tomorrow.
Oh, you haven't seen it. Okay.
So no, I haven't seen anything. I've been at work
Right, yeah.
far too much. What's it called? Yeah, so I am going to see that tomorrow, but anytime I'm not doing that, I'm going to be playing Ratchet and Clank. So I'm going to try and wake up at like 9 or 10 tomorrow and play some Ratchet and Clank, and then I have to leave at like
what are
1.
you on? Where are you in the game? Try to gauge like how far you are to the finish.
We're like just about to rebuild the thing without spoiling anything. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's probably have like 2.5 maybe left.
2.5 hours. Gotcha.
Yeah. But if you want to platinum it, I highly like. It's such an easy platinum. There's this one trophy that was kind of a bitch for me. That took me like an hour or so and a half. I was like, this is really annoying me. But other than that, it was really easy. But yeah, that's what I've been up to these past few days. Pretty not very eventful, but that's about it for me.
True. Yeah, I've been working a lot. Ungodly amount. Been watching some stuff. I went to Six Flags.
Nice.
Six Flags again. Getting a lot out of that membership. I am not one for upside down roller coasters. I am not a fan. What are you with roller coasters?
I used to dislike them very much, and now I enjoy them very much.
You go upside down?
Yeah. So you talking like Mind Eraser? Or are you talking?
No,
like,
just anything.
I don't think. I would say I don't think Superman still goes upside. Or is it even called the Superman still? Is that still what it's called?
Just Ride of Steel.
Oh.
Yeah. But like the Viper,
Superman,
like Boomerang, all that
yeah,
stuff.
Viper, yeah.
Yeah. You like
what's
that
the
stuff?
Boomerang? I don't know if I've been on that one.
The Boomerang is the one where you go. They pull you up.
Yeah.
And then they drop you, and you do a bunch of upside down loops. Then you go back up, and then you get pulled back up, and then you do the whole thing backwards again.
Oh, I don't know if I've done that one.
It's crazy.
But yeah, I do enjoy roller coasters. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't feel like I haven't been on that many upside down ones. I could be wrong.
I was a firm against upside down. 100%.
Yeah.
I was not. I was not a person that would like going upside down ever. I do not do that. I will say Sunday was when I went. I almost said yesterday. Sunday is when I went, and it was insane. I was just in this mood, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna say screw it and just do it. And I was like, I said to Brianna, I was like, I'm gonna do an upside down roller coaster, but it's got to be like before we eat. Like I can't do it with the stomach, like with food and stuff like that. I cannot do that. So I was like, let's just freaking do it. So we were gonna do the first one out. We were gonna do the Tantrum, which is their brand new-ish ride. It was brand new right before they closed for COVID. So it's the newest ride in the park. It was put up in 2019, but this is really the first year it's been able to kind of shine type thing.
Right.
Without having like a truncated anything. And it was close. So I was like, well, great. So then we were like, whatever. So we went on the Pirate, which is like the ship. And I was like, all right, man, like I'm in a mood today. Like as soon as I did that, like the first time we went to Darien Lake a couple weeks ago, when I did the Pirate, I felt a little like ooh afterwards, just because looking straight, like going straight down and straight back and all that stuff was a little. But when I rode it this time, I was like, I felt like perfectly fine after it, and I was like, oh no, I think I'm in like a crazy mood for like roller coasters. Like I think I'm like gonna freaking do some crazy stuff today, you know.
Hmm.
And then she was like, well, why don't we do the Viper? And I was like, why don't we do the Viper?
The
And I was
Viper,
like,
the Viper is a rough one. That one's like, it's
mm,
like not rickety, but like the seats are like not, it's like you're sitting on a metal. Like you feel the metal
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
steel, whatever.
yeah. Um, and so for the first time ever, I went out because I had never done. The only time I ever did an upside down roller coaster was like 6 years ago, 6-ish years
Hmm.
ago. My sister went with me. She took me to
Right.
Darien Lake and she tricked me into going on the boomerang, and I didn't know that it went upside down. Um, and I just wasn't.
Yeah,
I
watch
guess I
out for
just
that.
wasn't looking at the track or whatever. And she knew
Yeah.
because she knew that I didn't like to go upside down, so she did it
Hmm.
on purpose. Um, and yesterday or on Sunday, I literally like I went crazy. I rode the Viper 3 times. I rode the Tantrum. I rode the Boomerang twice. I was going like upside down all over the place. I was eating and then went upside
Oh
down again. I was like,
no.
I gotta tell you, I know I don't even know who I was on Sunday. I was like, literally, I was out of my mind. Um,
Hmm.
it was just crazy. We did the water park. Like Sunday was such a it was just like one of those days where it was the perfect amount of not busy. Like we basically just walked on everything. Um,
Nice.
with our membership, we get these like fast passes, um, which lets us skip the line. Uh, but we barely even had to use them. The only thing that we used them on was the Tantrum, and that was just because that was probably like a 20-minute line. But like
Hmm.
the first week we went, the lines were like an hour or a 2 hour
Oof.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this Sunday compared to the last time we went on Saturday, it was like night and day. It was like Sunday is such a just seemingly it's such a better day to go. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, in the chat says Michelle says now do the mind eraser. Yeah, we wanted to do the mind eraser. We actually were on it was a whole bunch of firsts for me. Like I've been going to Darien Lake since I was literally like a baby, but there's a lot of stuff that I just never did because it was out of my comfort zone. So I just rode the same stuff, like Predator, which is like the
Hmm.
most unsafe, like the total wooden one. That was always my favorite ride because it didn't go upside down. It was just like scary because it was old type thing.
Hmm.
So I just used to ride that all the time, and then I would usually ride the Superman, once in a while. Like I have no problem with the Superman, just because
Hmm.
once you get past the initial hill, it's no pun intended, it's all downhill from there. You know what I mean? It's just kind
Um,
of yeah.
I have one more Prime Day deal for you.
Uh oh.
4K Back to the Future trilogy, $30.
I do believe I already own that.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I do. I at
maybe
least
watch it
own. I at
on right
least
now.
own some sort of Blu-ray box set. I don't know if it's 4K. Um,
Also, the Indiana Jones thing came
I was
out, but
just
that's
gonna
not
say.
for sale.
Oh,
That's
okay.
not
I was just about to ask you if that's on sale, because if that's on sale,
no.
I'm jumping on
Yeah.
that. No, but yeah, we went. So we went on another one that I never did. Was Shipwreck Falls, which is like the water ride,
Mhm.
not in the water park, but the water ride in the dry
This is the
park.
one where you can blast people with the
Yeah, they have
yeah,
those. And then
on the water gun.
it's the one that you just it's the huge drop into the giant splash.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and I had never done that before. We did that I think twice or 3 times yesterday or on
Mhm.
Sunday. I keep saying yesterday. On Sunday, which was so much fun. I just had such a fun time on Sunday. Like it was crazy. Um,
You get burned.
just such a great place. No, look, I got.
Wow.
I don't know if you remember the last time I went. My I looked like a
No.
tomato last time. Like
Oh.
my skin was like peeling off and
Yeah.
blistering and stuff. Like I got burned like crazy. We really we kept reapplying and reapplying the sunscreen and stuff.
Mhm.
We also think that 90% of our major burns came from major burns, Frank Burns. Um, that 90% of our burns came from waiting on this one ride in the water park that faces the sun
Mhm.
at that time. So we didn't go on that. We didn't wait in that line. And we think that had a big thing. That played a big difference.
Mm.
But yeah, we got a lot luckier. But it was also a lot cloudier too.
Right. Yeah, I was trying to remember like what the weather was on Sunday.
Yeah, it was like it was hotter than the first week, but it was way
Yeah.
less sunny, which is like the perfect weather. I mean, I think it was like 78 and cloudy, which is like that is like perfect Darien Lake weather because it's like you're
Mhm.
not getting blasted by the sun, but it's not cold. You know what I mean? Like it was just great. But what I was saying about the Mind Eraser, so we were on Shipwreck Falls, and from actually being on the ride of Shipwreck Falls, we could see that the Mind Eraser was running with nobody on it, so they were testing it to get ready to open it.
Oh.
And then when we got off Shipwreck Falls, there was people on it, and it was open. And by the time we got to the Mind Eraser, it was closed. So
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I've
Yeah.
never been on it. I've never done it before.
I'm of
so I
two
was like,
minds
damn.
of the Mind Eraser, where it's like it's fun, but at the same time, it's like I'm afraid my legs are gonna get fucking torn off if I hit a
Yeah.
pole. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm,
Because your
for
feet are
sure.
dangling.
Yeah.
If you don't live,
That's
if
my
you don't
thing.
live where we live, or
Yeah. If you don't know what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my thing is that like, okay, I've done the upside down. I'm okay with upside down now. But that's the only thing in the park that has a seat like that. That's the only
Right.
thing. So it's like I don't know if I'm ready for that because in the seat, your gravity, even when you're upside down, your gravity is always pulling you into the seat. You know what I mean? Unless you're in like a free fall type thing.
Mhm.
But on that, it's like the natural state of gravity is to suck you out of the seat. You know what I mean? It's like you feel like you're
Mhm.
gonna fall out of it. But yeah, and then we also did, the moto coaster and stuff. Haven't gone on the Superman yet this year. We're still we're working our way up to it.
Is
Big
it
one.
is it just me that calls it that, or do other people call it that?
No, other people call it that. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much
'Cause
everybody
you
calls
said the
it that.
Ride of Steel, and I was like, oh, is that what people like?
Well,
I didn't
it
know if
was
we
always
lost the
called.
Superman
We
license.
did. No, we did. Yeah.
Oh, we did. Okay.
It was always called Superman: The Ride of Steel. And then in
Right.
2006 they lost the licensing to Superman. So
Oh,
now
that
it's
was a
just
while
so
ago.
now it's just
Okay.
Ride of Steel. Well, yeah, but it was when we
Got
were kids. You know what I mean? Everybody
Right. Yeah.
still calls it that.
Right.
And like the little, they have the little like shop at the bottom of at the
Mhm.
exit of the Superman. Like it's all still filled with like DC stuff.
Right.
But yeah, great stuff. We gotta get you guys out there. You guys we gotta do a day or something like this
Yeah.
this summer. It's just so
I'm
freaking
just
fun.
like thinking of like Fantasy Island 2 and how it's coming back as well, or it's supposed to be coming back. And I was just thinking about how like what I think my favorite ride was probably a Fantasy Island.
Mhm.
And it makes me like nauseous thinking about it, but it was probably like the spaceship.
I
You know what
never
I'm
went
talking
to Fantasy Island ever.
You didn't? Oh, okay.
Well, no,
Well, they
I
have
went
like
to Fantasy Island once, but I've never ridden anything there.
it was one of those rides that's like you get in a spaceship and there's a guy in the middle and it's like spinning around really fast to the
Is that
point
the one where
it's
you're
like
pressed up against the wall?
yeah.
That's the
For
only
some, I'm
ride
like
I've ever thrown up from.
thinking
To,
about
like,
it now. I was like,
projectile.
I'm getting nauseous thinking about it.
Yeah,
I was like,
literally,
how did I like that?
literally like projectile. But and it was not Fantasy Island. It wasn't. I mean, I don't even think they have something like that at Darien Lake.
Not yeah.
But it was so it doesn't exist anymore. It's a construction site right now. But the Northtown Plaza,
Mhm.
near our old job, they used to do like a carnival there. Like they would just set up shop, and that was there.
Oh,
And I
okay.
went with my
Yeah,
sister,
yeah, one of those. Yeah.
and it was big mistake. Ate some food, drank a Sprite. She was like,
Nope.
"All right, this is the first one we're going on."
That's
And
like shaking up a carbonated bottle.
I got off that thing, and I swear to God, I stumbled away, and I just started just projectile,
Ugh.
like it was absolutely terrible. And I was like, "I'm sorry, but we are not doing."
I'm gonna
I
go
was like,
home.
"I'm not doing anything else." Yeah, exactly. But yeah, great experience, and that membership is so worth it. If you go like at least once or twice, you know what I mean. It pays for itself. It's crazy. We've
Mhm.
gotten like $500 worth of savings and stuff. Like it's like this sweater that I got. This was like $12 with the discount. Like it's ridiculous. The merch is so cheap. All right. Anyway, so
Good deal.
thanks for
Real quick
Oh.
before we go into stories, I'm gonna make
Oh,
one
yeah.
last plea to you. Please
watch Superman and
please.
Lois.
Yes.
I don't know
it
where
is
to find
so-
it now.
It's on CW.
They only
It's
have
on the
they only
CW
have
app.
the most recent 5 episodes. So episode 3 and 4 are gone for me.
That's such a CW thing. You make quality content and you can't
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. Like,
Uh,
why did it leave HBO Max? That's my question. Why
I
did you
don't
even
know.
leave? Why did you
I
even
don't
do
know.
that? Like,
HBO Max quality in my opinion that it could be on HBO Max.
mhm.
Again, this is
And
my first CW. This is my first CW anything. So
mhm,
I have never dealt with the ridiculousness of every other show that they've put out.
yeah.
Obviously you said Arrow's good and
Mhm.
Smallville. Danielle likes you not maybe not so much, but I know people really like that show. Or
Yeah.
I don't even know Supergirl. Do people like that? But this show is quality. I will tell you that right now. Um,
Mhm.
so again, if you're watching this, you haven't watched it, find it, illegally download it or something. It doesn't matter.
That's
It's
true.
very good.
I mean, I might. I will say another thing on Superman and Lois too. Those shows are also famous for moving networks. I would not be surprised if they pull it from CW and give it to HBO Max. Because you got
Fine.
Supergirl. Supergirl started as a CBS show, didn't work on
Oh yeah.
CBS, so they moved it to the CW. Stargirl started as a DC Universe show, didn't
hmm
work on DC Universe, so they moved it to CW. Um,
Was Swamp Thing originally CW? I mean, it got
Swamp Thing,
canceled in like
Swamp
5
Thing
days,
was
but
a joint CW and DC Universe show, so it
oh,
aired
okay.
on both. But yeah,
Oh, right. When
so
DC Universe was
I
right.
would not be surprised at all. Yeah, and then look at Titans, look at all those shows. You know, those all Doom Patrol, all of that moved from DC
hmm
Universe to HBO Max. So I think I think the way that the production is kind of set up there is they can kind of move from house to house pretty
hmm
easily. So I would not be surprised if in future years they realize, what a
hmm
dynamite show they have on their hands, and what a
Right.
ratings hit, by the way, they have on their hands, because Superman and Lois is consistently outperforming every other show.
Oh
Like
wow.
they're hitting Superman and Lois is hitting almost a million. Like they're in like the 800 to 900,000 viewership range. Um, whereas Flash is in like 600 to 700, and then all the other ones are way below that.
Yeah.
So it's beating Flash, which Flash, ever since Arrow ended, was always the most watched, the most popular. So for Superman and Lois to do that right out of the gate, I mean, that is, and I can't deny the first two episodes I watched. I mean, that is some ridiculous quality.
Yeah. There are two
Absolutely
episodes
crazy.
where you're like, oh no, are they falling into the kind of, I know people always say like the villain of the week type
Hmm.
thing, but they grew out of that in like literally probably the episodes after like 3, 4. It's
I
like,
will
oh
say
no, this.
the twist was ruined for me, but the
Wait, what
twist.
twist? I don't know what you're talking about. In like the third
Slight
episode or something.
spoilers. Slight
Okay.
spoilers for Superman and Lois. Boo, 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 boo. When I wave my hands again, you can come back. The whole Captain Luthor thing was actually Steel.
Oh
Do you know
yeah,
who Steel is?
I googled it, so now I do.
Yeah, like the Shaq movie.
Yeah.
Like the other version of Superman, the one of the original Black Superman. Um, I think that's cool. I think that's cool to do something actually. The Shaq movie obviously is, it's it's what it is. But like
Right.
to actually give that character a really really cool live action interpretation that's like kind of badass like that, I think is really freaking cool. So I'm excited to dive into that and watch that. And I was a little confused with the whole Captain Luthor thing, because I was like, well, we already have Lex in this universe. Like
Right.
how does that get
Right.
explained type thing. So I thought it was a clever twist, and I'm really excited to actually see how it unfolds. So what are we at? We're at episode 9 right now in airing, or episode
Uh,
10?
we're on episode like 11, I think.
Oh,
Season's
okay.
almost over. I think. From
Yeah,
the
16
episode
episodes,
that I
right?
just watched, yeah, I think the season's like I think they're starting to wind down. I
Hmm.
feel, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I think it's
But
either
yeah.
it's either 13 or 16 episodes. One of those two.
Hmm.
Um
Okay.
yeah, it's like the Bad Batch length. Which, by the way, we will
Speaking of
get you
Bad Batch.
guys we will get you guys um the Bad Batch review out. With me going to Darien Lake, I was gone all day. And then TJ was busy Saturday night, and then it didn't come together this weekend. But believe me, we will talk about it soon too.
It's tough out here.
Yeah, it's tough out here. Yeah, we're managing 2 schedules, all this, and trying to maintain a at least somewhat sustainable social life. Are you free tomorrow night?
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
You do like a last shot recording?
Yeah, possible.
All right, cool. So we will get you that. We're gonna try and get it as soon as possible because we definitely want to talk about Loki episodes 2 and 3 this upcoming weekend. So we want to get Bad Batch up on the channel for you guys. So we'll work on it for sure. Although me and TJ have a pretty busy weekend as well. So we will work on it. we will get it to you guys in due time. Now, with that being said, just 1 second. I don't know. Do you have something you want to vamp with or something you want to talk about? I just have to take a quick break real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Let's see. What should I vamp about? Not very good at this. So saw In the Heights last Wednesday, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, and talk about the box office for that thing.
Yeah. So In the Heights came out last I think like 2 weeks ago it came out. So Lin-Manuel wrote it obviously for Broadway, and it's been adapted to a movie. Personally, I'll say I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Felt a little bit. I did feel like it got a little bit long, but that was probably my only gripe. I thought all the songs were really catchy. I thought everybody was performed great. Anthony Ramos was great. Had a little. I definitely got a little teary eyed during it. Won't spoil anything for that. But I definitely recommend everybody should go see it right now. If you like Hamilton, I think you'll like this. If you like Lin-Manuel's Miranda's kind of style, the way he writes his music and everything, writes his songs, I think you'll really enjoy it. But the box office apparently for this movie sucks. I don't have the exact numbers, but I don't even know if it started off strong. I think I was hearing like from the opening weekend, it probably dropped like 65% or something like that, like something ridiculously like not good. Which is really a shame because I don't like to see like movies like musical stuff like this like just fall, especially when they don't really deserve it, because I think this movie definitely deserves to be seen by everyone, that whether you like musicals or not. And apparently it didn't do very well on HBO Max either, which is really sad, because you'd think like maybe if it's not doing good in theaters, like maybe it's doing well on HBO Max, because maybe some people just aren't ready, even with like the restrictions going back and everything in a lot of states, especially obviously here in New York, and I think California like is kind of just back to business now at this point. You think maybe like people are tuning into HBO Max more, which it doesn't really seem. I guess it's just not happening. It's not happening for either streaming service or in the theater. But hopefully, like, maybe if it comes out of theaters or something like that in the next few weeks, like it has a big resurgence at some point. So yeah.
I will say, luckily I was able
look at
to.
that. I did it just long enough.
Luckily, I was able to hear you that whole time. I will say, I'm gonna. If you watch this channel and you also watch the John Campea channel, I'm gonna parrot a lot of what he said, but I think he's very right. And that is, I think, really what it came down to is old-fashioned two things. Oh, whoa, what? 1 sec, sorry. Oh, it's not affecting the stream, but hang on. There we go. Okay, sorry. I was getting like 1 frame a second there in Discord. So I think it came down to two things is, unless you are a massive Hamilton or Star is Born fan, I don't think Anthony Ramos. Well, no, I'm saying Anthony Ramos.
Oh, what he's in? Oh, okay,
I don't think Anthony Ramos is enough of a star to put the back of a movie on. And I think they were kind of hoping he was at this point. And I just don't think that it was there. And that's not a knock against him. He hasn't branched out into the mainstream popularity yet. So I think it was like that. Like, you compare this to Greatest Showman. I mean, Greatest Showman had Zendaya, had Zac Efron, and a little guy named Hugh Jackman as, all over the entire marketing and everything. And that is not to say that star power is the end all be all. Look at musical, Hugh Jackman, popular adaptation, popular music, Pan, anybody? Total bomb. So the star power is not everything, but you have to have star power mixed with the proper marketing. And I think the marketing failed this movie real hard. Because you cannot blame solely HBO Max. Because like you were talking about while I was away, it's not doing very good on HBO Max either. I mean, this is a movie that was tracking to open around 24 million. People were saying, oh, I think that's low. I'm thinking more like 45, 50. And then to open at $11 million, I mean, that is bad. That is like abysmal. That's real bad. And then also, there is, I see Michelle's bringing it up in the chat. There is some question of, the proper representation. And that's a conversation I don't know if
there's
we have to get
also
into
talk
here,
about
but
some, maybe racial aspects, which again, we're not going to get into, but I think it's a culmination of a lot of different things.
Exactly. I think there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, like if you haven't seen this or you want, I'm not gonna lie, I sat there the entire movie and I go, why does this guy look so familiar?
Don't even say it.
I'm gonna say
Don't
it.
even say it.
And I looked at my IMDb. I go, oh, it's Jimmy Smits.
All right, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. Bye. All right, thank you. Welcome. Or we'll see you. This guy, are you freaking kidding me? Bail Organa himself.
You know who I did wish had more of a. I'm so bad with his name. I always forget his name. Hold on, I'm gonna Google it just so I'm for sure, because I'm always like, oh, I love that guy.
One other thing too that they did is they kind of took for granted that American audiences knew what In the Heights was. You know what I mean? They were like the West Side Story trailer, right? Remember the West Side Story trailer that we got, the little teaser with the Oscars that was just the snapping, the walking towards each other, and then boom, Steven Spielberg, West Side Story. That's it. And you're like, holy shit, like, let's go. Like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I feel like they went In the Heights, Lin-Manuel Miranda. We'll see you there. And people don't know In the Heights like I think they marketed it thinking they do. You know what I mean? In the Heights is not Hamilton. People do not... I didn't know. I'm a huge musical theater fan, and I had no idea what In the Heights was. Because I've never been to New York. I've never done Broadway and stuff. I watch the Tonys here or there, but I don't go back and look at what was popular with the Tonys in 2003. Right. You know what I mean? Like... and I just think it was purely marketed very wrong. Sorry, who was the person you were saying?
This movie just needed more Chris Jackson. He was in it. Because he played Billy in the or Benny. Sorry, he played Benny in the Broadway show.
I see.
And he's in Hamilton. George Washington. I love him as George Washington. He's so good. Such an amazing singing voice. Just a great performer in general. And I just wanted more of him. He has like 2 cameo scenes with Lin-Manuel Miranda, which are funny.
He's the ice cream truck driver, right?
He's the ice cream truck driver. And Lin-Manuel is obviously the snow cone guy, so they have a little bit of a battle, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the other thing that was funny throughout the movie...
Did you stay for the end credit?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Is when, like, when they're all singing, and all of a sudden you'll hear Lynn's voice, and it's like an octave higher than everybody. And it's like, it's just immediately like, oh, there he is. But yeah, again, like if you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you go see it. It's very, very good.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So I hear it's a movie that will warm the biscuits of your heart.
Sure.
Is that
Yep.
correct?
I guess, yeah.
All right. Oh, no, little tease there. Sorry, I showed my hand a little early. So let's talk about our first official story. Not that much in the way of stories, so we'll probably still have like a normal like hour and a half show just because we've been talking so much about whatever.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
gonna say that because I'm done saying that. Every time we say that, it doesn't happen. Because if we
you're
get
right.
Danielle on here, we're gonna be
Yeah,
going for another 20 minutes.
we go. Oh, it's gonna be a short show for you guys, and then we go two
Yeah,
hours, or we go.
yeah,
Oh, it's
right.
gonna be. We're last week we were like, well, let's just keep going. And last week, last week ended up being like
Almost
an
2
hour.
hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like we can never properly judge it. Um, but that being said, we do not have that many stories, so we'll see where we
Mhm.
go. But there's a lot of room for discussion, I'll say.
Yeah.
So number one, we got a bevy. Is that a word I can use?
A
A
bevy.
bevy
Wow.
of
That is a word.
we got a bevy of set pictures from the DC EU, or now they're calling it the DC EM, the DC Extended Multiverse. Did you hear that they changed it to
I
that
had not
apparently?
heard that, no.
Yeah.
News to me.
Apparently Warner Brothers changed it to that, even though officially Warner Brothers has never called it anything. DCEU
Mm.
was always a fan title, but now apparently Warner Brothers is referring to it as the DCEM,
Interesting.
so Extended Multiverse, which I think makes sense, because clearly that's where they've already said that's where they're going.
Mhm.
You look at DC fandom, every other word Walter Hamada said was, multiverse. He was just trying to avoid talking about
Yeah.
Ray Fisher the whole time. Um, I think multiverse was his lawyer's safe word.
Mm.
But I digress. Um, so let's start off with Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods, which, really just began production just a couple weeks ago. Um,
Mhm.
maybe a month ago. I don't know. I can't really judge the timeline on this. I can't really think. But we have our first official look at the Marvel family's suits, the brand new suits. Now they all have different suits because, as we know, there was some issues with the suits on the last film that a lot of people thought they looked too kind of pillowy, too padded.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm looking at pictures now,
yeah.
comparing the movie to what they released.
Mhm.
Definitely, the new ones definitely look just better
Yeah.
in
Yes,
general. Yeah, I'm
for
just
sure.
noticing that.
One thing that I will say that I don't know if you noticed is Mary Marvel in the red there, right here,
Hmm.
this woman. She is actually going to be played. This is not the same person who played Mary Marvel in the first movie. Do you know why?
Why is that?
This is the girl that played Mary in the first movie, but she's now old enough looking that she's going to play both roles. So that's why she
Oh,
looks
okay.
different, because the whole point of Shazam's powers is that because they're all kids, they become what they're going to look like as an adult. But because
Right.
Mary was like 18 in the first movie, she's going
Yeah.
to be like 21 in this one. So she's already an adult. So they're just having her play both roles, which I think is a
Um,
great idea.
the girl in the purple, she looks
Yep.
really familiar. Is that somebody like well
Yeah,
known?
she played this character in Shazam 1.
That's it. Like, do you,
No, I
what
don't
other
know.
was
That's
she in any of the
that's all
movies?
I know
Oh,
of.
okay. I have to look. She looks
Yeah, no.
really familiar.
Yeah. And then you got
Zam.
Freddy, grown up Freddy there in the blue. Now, what do you think of the new suits, and what do you in particular? What do you think of the new colors? Because the colors are a lot more in line with the rest of the DCEM, if you want to call it that.
Mm.
They're a lot more desaturated than they used to be. I mean, you look at Pedro's suit on the end there, the green suit. Uh,
Mhm.
in the first movie, his suit was bright green. Now it's almost so dark you would think it would be almost a black suit.
Mm.
It's such a dark green. So what do you think of that? Would you think it's a little too desaturated? Because what a lot of people liked with the first Shazam was how bright and kind of fun it was compared to the rest of
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah. Which one? Sorry, which one? Which suit? The green one?
Pedro. Yeah, on the end with the beard.
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking at the stream. Hold on.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I like the new color more.
Yeah.
I think. Again, like I'm looking at this like kind of Shazam 1 to Shazam Fear of the Gods photo, like these comparisons, and like the suit is like his bicep in the suit is like it's literally like this big.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, maybe he is that jacked.
He's
but
not.
I could be wrong. Okay.
Zachary Levi didn't get jacked for the first one, but he got in shape, but he didn't get jacked. This one he got jacked for.
Well, no, I'm not talking about Zachary Levi. I'm talking about the other guy.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha.
And the beard.
Yeah.
But yeah, one thing I do think I'll miss is I kind of liked how the middle like glowed. This one it looks like it's more just kind of metal metallic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly think these all look great and they all look like they're a step up. I mean, again, like when the first movie, they were like this for what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. I think this movie we're gonna get them as the adults a lot more. I think I would have to say that. I just think that the type of story that they're gonna tell, I think they're gonna do a time jump just like it has, because it has been years, since the first one. So I think that I don't think it's gonna be taking place like right after or something. I think they're gonna have been these superheroes for a long time, and then kind of go from there basically. But yeah, I just think it's really, really cool. I'm interested to see if they explain why the suits change, because as you know from the first movie, there's no they don't control what the suits look like, or maybe they will explain that they actually found out a way that they can, because the suit just kind of happens to them in a way, you know what I mean, if that's the right way to put it, I guess. But yeah, I freaking loved Shazam 1, and I'm just so excited for this movie.
Yeah, speaking of, I'm gonna do a classic audible that I like to do, where you said, do you have a story? And I said, I don't know, I'll look, and this actually just brought me to my own story. Speaking of Shazam, Rachel Ziegler is cast in this, as well as West Side Story, and it was announced that she is going to be playing Snow White in the live action Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't know where she came from, but she's already getting like these.
Came from nowhere.
Like
literally nowhere.
She was cast in West Side Story, and now she's in Shazam, and she's in.
She was cast. Spielberg said that he auditioned like. He said like 600 Marias.
Right.
Like 600. She's picked out of 1 in 600.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Shazam, boom. Oh, Snow White, boom. It's
exactly
like, okay. But yeah, I heard like people are just saying like, oh, because Disney's doing West Side Story because it's Fox, I believe, and they own Fox, obviously. So Disney was probably like watching, West Side Story or whatever, and like she could sing, and dance and everything, so she could be Snow White. But yeah, I just thought that was like really cool, and like it's crazy to just like see somebody like come out of nowhere and just like blow up. Like obviously none of her movies have come out yet. Unless she was on, like, I don't know if she did
a great sign
this,
by the way. Small theater, not like small national, like high school theater.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
She said in an interview, I think she's
born in 01.
Yeah, I think she's 19 or 20. Yeah. She literally said in an interview when it was first announced that she was cast as Maria, she said, 5 months ago, I was like, it was an interview on the set of West Side Story. She was like, 5 months ago, I was doing like a high school production of like, whatever, like a high school production of Beauty and the Beast or something, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And now she's starring in Steven Spielberg's arguably biggest movie since Ready Player One, like, which was, when was Ready Player One? Like almost 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, gee, like that's crazy. And then you just immediately get cast as one of the most iconic, the Cinderella aside, probably the progenitor of the Disney princess. Like, you are gonna get to play that. Like, that's crazy. Good for her. Like, I'm spoiling these stories left and right. We'll get to that picture in a second, computer. Jeez. Sorry. Just I keep pulling up the wrong picture. Yeah, but great for her. If anything, like you said, it's all under the mouse house. So they are clearly very impressed with what they're seeing from West Side Story. This gives me hope for West Side Story. This gives me even more hope for Shazam 2, and this gives me a lot of hope for the Snow White film, which is going to be directed by Mark Webb, who did the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, which, say what you will about the writing in those, I think they were directed very well. I think he's a very, very good director. So I'd be excited to see him with, kind of a higher caliber screenwriter, see what he's able to pull off in this. Yeah, very excited. Like I said, it's one of those things where when somebody like that gets plucked out of obscurity and they get all these projects left, right, and center, that can be nothing but an indication of something really great's happening with that.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Michelle says, I like the colors from Shazam 1 because the rest of the DC have that muted coloring and Shazam is much more fun vibe. I thought it needed to be different in that way. Yeah, I agree with that on a certain level too. I think a lot of people would agree with you. I think a lot of the appeal was, oh, hey, this is kind of the bright corner. This is kind of the bright corner of the DC EM, or, and I think it still can be that. I think, if anything, this might indicate we're going to see Shazam kind of step up into a bigger role in the universe. So maybe they got the suits more in line with the rest of the universe so that in a team aspect, he can kind of, be a little bit more on the same level as everybody else, and not look like he's in a rubber duck outfit type thing. Because this suit, for sure, you slot him right next to Ben Affleck's Batman, right next to Henry Cavill's Superman, it fits right in. Especially, I think, kind of the look and the design of these new suits really remind me of Aquaman's suit, actually. So I think it looks pretty cool. Pretty cool. Very excited. Speaking of, sorry, do you have another story? You can go with one of yours if you want to.
Another story.
Okay. Yeah, like you said, kind of a slow news week. Actually, I'm going to call an audible as well. Let's talk about this. Little mini Planet Council going on here. So, this is coming to us from the Illuminerdi. So, this is I would call it a 60% set.
No, we have not
talked
to ICarly yet, Danielle.
We did not. Worry. So, if you want to, we'll hook that up. We're getting to it, though. I would call them like I am not making a broad statement. I'm not trying to be sued for anything. But I would say in my track record with reading their stuff, they're like 60% reliable when it comes to stories and stuff. The Ahsoka Tano show, I don't know if you saw this, the Ahsoka Tano show is looking to cast potentially Barriss Offee for live action. Did you hear about this at all?
Live action who?
Barriss Offee. Barriss, remember from the from Clone Wars, her Padawan friend, the one that framed her.
Oh, yes.
Now, okay, this is my thing. They're saying this based on a casting call, but the casting call is for a woman in her 20s to late 20s to 30s of Asian descent. Now, Barriss would be the same age as Ahsoka, so Barriss would be like in her 40s. Like in her 40s or like early 50s at this point.
Right.
Doesn't a 20-something, 30-something, Asian descent woman, doesn't that sound a lot more like Sabine than Barriss?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I'm thinking.
It was like a flash forward type thing.
Maybe, but like, I don't know. I just feel like that would be so weird. I also feel like, that'd be so weird for Barriss to like come back into Ahsoka's story like 30 years later.
Yeah, like I don't know how that would work exactly. You know what I mean?
I would
Like,
say finish off Barris's story in the Bad Batch. Like,
yes,
yeah,
I
there's
don't know.
so much
Where is
going
she? I
on
don't
with
even, did
Ahsoka
she
right
go to
now.
jail? Right?
Yeah, I think she went to jail. So, but then you could maybe say like, maybe she became an inquisitor or something like that. If
Yeah,
they bring
something
her
like that.
back and okay, this is something that would work. That would absolutely work, and this would be a way to bring Barris in and a way that it would make sense and be really, really cool. You could have the Ahsoka show, and this is I'm just going off my head. I have not read anything. I've not been told anything by anybody, behind the scenes or anything. Um, you could do like a dual timeline with Ahsoka. Like kind of some things are set during the Mandalorian time, some things are set
Mhm.
between episodes 3 and 4. That would be interesting, and you could have a 30-year-old Barris Offee in maybe the flashback section of the story where she's maybe an inquisitor, because there was also a report this week that Dave Filoni is reportedly making a big push for the Inquisitors, and that they might be getting their own live action treatment on Disney Plus.
Jeez.
Yeah, there was a big report about that came out, but that's a little in depth for this show. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on the whole Barris Offee thing or Sabine thing. Like, what do you think this
Yeah.
Ahsoka show is actually going to take shape to be? Because we know she's out there looking for Thrawn, she's looking for Ezra. She
I was
wants to
saying,
know
when
what's
is
going
this
on.
taking place? During like after Rebels, or after Rebels before New Hope?
No, it'd be after Rebels, uh, like during Mando, like Mando
Or
season 2.
Mando? Okay.
Because remember,
Oh,
the
right.
end of
Right,
Rebels,
right, right, right.
yeah, the end of Rebels takes place after Return of the Jedi, because the finale of Rebels jumps all the way through the original trilogy.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they would do. Like, I don't know how you. I feel like there's like that kind of the characters kind of like I felt like there was a lot in that arc that I would be satisfied if I never really saw that character again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Dave
Um,
Filoni said, he has plans for Barris, um, but just do it on the Bad Batch. I mean, I don't feel like
yeah.
that character popping up 30 years later, or even 25 years later, whatever you want to say. I
Hmm.
don't think it really makes much sense. I mean, Ahsoka's onto such bigger and different things. Like, I don't think she's really, not that she's not going to care, but it'd be like Maul with Obi-Wan in the Twin Sons episode of Rebels. It's
Hmm.
like you're kind of like Barris would be like attacking Ahsoka, and Ahsoka would just be like, "Why are you
Yeah.
still angry about this? Like, this was literally so long ago. Like, this nothing that you
And
did
that's not
matters."
even
Like,
that's not even like Ahsoka would be like, she wouldn't even be mad at her. She's still mad at the fact that they didn't believe her. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like
Yeah,
I get like, obviously they didn't believe her because of her almost. But
yeah.
like Ahsoka would be more mad.
Hmm.
It'd be one thing if, it was she, did something like obviously what she did was awful, but like something like killed
But
her
she was one of like,
Anakin or something like that. Like
yeah, like
something that,
she was one of like 500 people that did awful things that led to the Empire rising. You know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
because what's the worst that you can say? Well, if you hadn't have done that, I could have been there for Anakin, and he would have never turned. Well,
Yeah.
but this story takes place 5 years after Anakin turned back and died. Like, this is such
Mhm.
ancient history. If we would bring back Barris, I mean, I just think it would be ill-suited is the word that I'm coming back to. Like, I
Mhm.
just think it would not fit with that show. I don't
Right.
know. I just hope that's something that I hope
Or
we don't see.
put it in
Yeah.
a book or something. I don't know. If you want to
Yeah,
bring her back, then
absolutely.
put it in a
Yeah.
book. I don't know.
Or like I said, Bad Batch. I mean, you got the perfect
Or bad,
opportunity
like you
to
said.
deal with
Yeah.
that. I mean, we're clearly dealing with Clone Wars characters we didn't think that we would see again. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that. Um,
And also, who knows where she's at? She could be dead.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
That could be what
you know.
Dave meant. Oh, I got
Yeah.
plans for her. She's dead. Um, all right,
Uh,
let's pivot back over to the DC EU, and then we might get a friend on the line to talk some iCarly reboot.
mhm.
So now we have a the continuation of the bevy of set pictures coming to us from the DC productions. This time coming to us from the Flash. So this is from the Flash film that is currently filming all throughout the world, and on set and everything. Now this is the Andy Muschietti film that we're supposed to see 2 Batmans, a Supergirl, a Flash, and who knows what else. So let's talk about. Did you see these set pictures?
I did.
Okay, so let's talk first about the Supergirl suit. So here we have the Supergirl suit. Now, this to me screams that this is without a doubt Henry Cavill's Supergirl. So this is, but the question is this? Are we looking at Kara Zor-El here? Are we looking at traditional Supergirl, like Superman's cousin type thing? Or is this some sort of other version? Because we know that this movie is going to deal with the multiverse. So what do you think? What do you say your head tells you?
This movie is a take on Flashpoint, correct?
Yeah, I would say it's like Flashpoint mixed with like Crisis a little bit.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Flashpoint also. Maybe I'll watch the animated movie and kind of maybe try to get the kind of gist of what's going on.
Spoiler alert.
Obviously,
Eobard Thawne, dick.
Okay. Because it seems like there's a lot of different, obviously characters, old and new, that we've never seen before coming into the fold of this movie.
For sure.
I like the suit. I think it looks pretty dope. I thought I saw something about like, shouldn't her boots be like a different color or something? I don't know. But yeah, I think it looks cool. Yeah, that's all I have to add because I don't know anything about Supergirl, and I just think this suit looks cool.
Yeah, I think it looks very cool. Now, it is Henry's S. Like, it is literally the exact Kryptonian language within the S. Like the whole like, what is it? On Krypton, this means hope. That old line from Man of Steel. If you guys can remember all the way back to Man of Steel, almost a decade ago. So this looks very, very cool to me. I like the design with the red on top. That's something very different. That is what kind of leads me to think maybe this is not the Kara Zor-El of the Man of Steel universe, only because usually in the comics at least, that's how the multiverse usually distinguishes itself, right? Is a variation of a costume type thing. You look at Jay Garrick Flash with the almost leather jacket and the silver helmet, versus Barry with the much more traditional Flash costume. So that is something that leads me to believe that it might be someone else. Also, the hair, like she has short black hair in this, which I think is a really cool look. It's just very not traditional if it is Kara. But like I said, it could be anything really. Just very interesting, a cool look at the suit. And then we also have we got to look at Ezra. I almost said Ezra Bridger. Ezra Miller and Kiersey Clemens back as Barry Allen and Iris West, talking to some reporters. Maybe Barry. We saw he got his in the Snyder Cut at least. We saw he got his job as a CSI, just like he is in the show and in the comics. So maybe this is it. Maybe he's like dealing with like a trial or something, or maybe not. It's kind of weird to think. But the main thing to me out of this picture, this door and like this architecture and stuff, this screams to me that I think this scene is taking place in the Batman '89 universe. Because you look at like the gothic like lamp posts and stuff like that, the giant like brass dirty like door, the steps even are very reminiscent of the courthouse that the Joker dances down in Batman '89, that whole thing. Not to mention the next picture, which might confirm that. we finally have our first look in character at Michael Keaton returning, at least in this picture, as Bruce Wayne. With the exact same
looking
courthouse
fresh.
steps, looking real fresh. With the exact same courthouse steps that we just saw in the previous picture behind him. And yeah, like you said, looking fresh. I mean, he's got the wig on, or the hair plugs or whatever. Whatever they might be doing to Keaton there to give him a little extra volume, because it pretty much matches what Michael Keaton's hair looks like. It's just Michael Keaton's hair isn't that long,
right,
or that poofy anymore. He's got the suit on. He's looking real fresh. He's got his hands in his pocket. Now, what are your thoughts on this immediately? This is the first tangible. We are literally looking at a picture of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne in the year 2021. What are your thoughts on that? 32 years after the original.
Crazy. Considering
also 1 year to the day. 1 year to the day of the first official announcement that he would be in it. Today.
I mean, when they announced that he was going to be in it, I definitely did not believe that. I thought that was like, oh, there's no way.
Yeah.
Or you said official, and then obviously he said like a few weeks ago, I think it was, or like a month or two back, where he was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be in it. COVID and everything. Obviously he's not. He's, how old is he? Like late 60s, something like that. Early 70s.
Yeah, I'd say probably like 69, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
So obviously, health risk, of course. But it's really, really great to see him, on the set again, like you said, or like I said, looking fresh. And I'm interested to see if we get a set photo of Ben Affleck as well.
Michael Keaton is exactly 69 years old.
Wow, look at that. You called it.
Sometimes I feel like he's older, though. I'm glad he's not, though. 69, he's probably got like 20, 25 years left in him.
Right. This also goes into the one report. Now, okay, so so I watched a John Campea clip today.
Yes, we are going to talk about that right now.
Okay, so real quick, was this just from his source that told him this, or is this other people are saying this?
This is just from his source.
Okay. So,
but John Campea, as wild as he might be, John Campea is a very connected dude in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He is a very connected dude in Hollywood. And he has been bang on with some stuff in the past. And he is not one to, even though he says the exact opposite in the video today, he is not one to say you were right and I was wrong easily. So that is why I tend to trust this source that he says.
So he has a YouTube channel, John Campea Show. Go check it out.
It is very good. He's a little zany, but it's really good.
He has a movie channel. He breaks down all the news and stuff like that. His source told him that Michael Keaton's role in The Flash will be the source likens it to Sean Connery's role in The Last Crusade, or an even bigger role, which that I think is ridiculous, because we all thought, oh, he's going to be in this movie for what, 2 minutes, maybe less. He's going to be in and be like, oh, hey, kid, and that's about it. Now, again, if you know Sean Connery in Last Crusade, he's in the entire movie, very instrumental in the entire movie.
I was the next man.
Yeah. Hopefully Michael Keaton has the same amount of comedic chops that Sean Connery has in that movie. So I just thought that was wild that he could have a bigger role than, a short cameo. If anybody was going to have a bigger role, I thought he might be Ben Affleck. I thought he might have a bigger role than Michael Keaton. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
I think in terms of the size of his role, I never thought it was going to be like a cameo. Yeah. I was like, this guy is definitely going to be in this like at least 15 minutes. Like I didn't think it was going to be like what the quote said today. I didn't think it was going to be like Sean Connery in Last Crusade. But I was like, I think it would be like maybe, you know, trying to think of a good example. You know, whatever. I don't need to think of an example. Just I thought it would maybe be, you know, a little more than a few scenes, but not the whole movie. Like more of a like, okay, this is like a section of the movie. Like, oh, but how about that Batman 89 section of the movie? You know what I mean? Where it's like where Barry gets stuck in that universe and then has to team up with Keaton's Batman, and then he sends him on his way. Type, you know what I mean? Teaches him a lesson, gives him a piece of tech.
Like maybe like in it to like mob boss in Dark Knight. Like they're in the movie,
Yeah,
but like they're
yeah.
not the main villain. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
exactly.
kind of
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Or like a Willem Dafoe in the first John Wick. You know, something like that.
Right,
Like
yeah.
I thought it would be something like that. Like a support role helps him get the goal, and then boom, we're back on Barry's story. This to me is 100% Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be like the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just like Campia said. That is the perfect analogy. It's like I think this is going to be a Michael Keaton heavy film. Which to me is amazing.
And again, this is where I think you bring him in. This is where everybody gets the Batman Beyond thing from. You know, and now it's again rumor, not confirmed really in any way, that he has a very large role in this movie. This is where the whole, you know, that whole story comes from. Whereas, like, do we get a Batman Beyond movie with, you know, Mike Keaton as Bruce Wayne, and I don't know who is Terry McGinnis, but, which again, I think that
who do you think would be
I
the
think
Terry
that'd be
McGinnis?
awesome. Good.
Is
Terry
Henry Golding too old? I think maybe, yeah.
How old is he?
He's like in his
Terry
late
McGinnis
20s.
is in like high school.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say Henry Golding's in his like late 20s, but if he was younger, I think he would be a really good pick.
yeah. I don't know. I'd have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah. Maybe like what's Asa Butterfield doing these days? He probably still passes a high schooler. Hugo, you know, Ender's Game.
Oh yeah.
Almost Spider-Man.
What
Just
about
missed out.
Oh, what's his name? Hold on. I have one.
What about Steve Harrington? Joe Keery from Stranger Things. Cut his hair a little, you know? I think he'd be good.
The fuck? Oh, hold on.
While you're looking that up,
I Sheridan.
Oh yeah, that would be good. How old is Ty Sheridan though?
He is. Hold on. Born 96, so 24.
Oh yeah, yeah, he would be good. Yeah, I think he would be really good. Now let me ask you this: if you could only get Keaton back after this, now you got to remember all the way back to that original report was that Keaton would be in this movie and then would take Affleck's place as the mainline Batman in this universe. Now, if that's not the case, if it's just this movie and then maybe something else, if you could only get him in this and then one other project, would you rather have a Batman Beyond project or a Dark Knight Returns with Michael Keaton?
I think Batman Beyond, because you can, after that, you can do something with, you can keep the Terry McGinnis character going with more movies. You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
Like Batman or Dark Knight Returns, right? That's what it's called. Those are the two animated movies where I was kind of like, I didn't really like them that much. I know people really love them, but I was not the biggest fan.
Yo, could you imagine like a live action? Wow, sorry, my brain's just. Could you imagine a live action Dark Knight Returns with Michael Keaton as Batman and Henry Cavill as Superman? Like just age up Henry Cavill a little bit with the two of them going up against each other. That would be insane. That would be absolutely crazy. Or even like hell, do like Brandon Routh. Do one of the best treatments they ever did. One of the best things to ever come out of the CW universe was giving Brandon Routh Superman a second go. That his Superman was hands down.
I want to see Tyler Hoechlin's Superman live movie. Not like his own
True.
movie, but like I want to see him show up in a movie.
He did interact. I mean, he did fight Christopher Reeve's Superman in Crisis.
I think he knocks it out of the park in my opinion,
Yeah.
personally, as Clark Kent or Superman.
You gotta watch Crisis, man, or at least the Superman at least the Superman heavy episode. That is such a great freaking episode when you got Brandon Routh's Superman, who is the same character as Christopher Reeve's Superman. So you basically, in essence, have Christopher Reeve's Superman fighting Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. So amazing, and teaming up and working with them. You know, that whole thing too. But yeah, Tyler Hoechlin is such an incredible Superman. He started out a little rocky, but man, he has hit his stride like crazy. Guy is so freaking perfect in that role. I'd love to see him on the big screen, and anything's possible. I mean, we also got reports this week that Grant Gustin is going to be in this movie.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, oh, are they gonna have like the CW Flash or anything? Because obviously
that's apparently what what the report says. That has been reported this week that Grant Gustin will appear in this movie. If that's the case, I mean, that's crazy.
Because everything is building up to this movie being wild. So like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, I just hope it's good.
Same. Now, the last thing I just want to say about this picture. Do you have the stream up?
I do.
Okay. So this next thing, people are saying these marks on the side of his face. They're thinking that these might be the Catwoman scars from Batman Returns. What do you think about that? Do you see that picture yet?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Well,
what do you think about that?
Did you see what is canon now?
Pretty freaking cool. No, what?
Batman goes down on women now. So, you know, maybe they bring Michelle Pfeiffer back.
I don't know. Or Barry will just say, you know, whatever happened with you and Catwoman, and he'll go,
yeah,
we made up, you know, that kind of thing.
They just show the picture of Zack Snyder's Twitter feed.
Yeah. Yeah. How'd you get those scars? But yeah, I think that's really cool. I mean, if it's just wrinkles on Michael Keaton's face, that's, you know, or if they're the claw marks, like that's pretty cool. It's just cool attention to detail type thing. Right. I say bring him back from the dead. Bring Christopher Walken back as Max Shrek. You know, we never saw the body. All he did was get electrocuted.
While we're at it, bring Danny DeVito back.
If they brought Danny DeVito back, I swear.
Is that Michael Keaton or is that?
Yeah, that's Michael Keaton. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would love that, man. That would be so great.
Maybe not Arnold. Leave Arnold with Val Kilmer and
you
know, Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I actually do think I was kind of joking about Max Shrek, but I actually think that if you paid Christopher Walken enough money, I think he would come back and play Max Shrek again.
Oh yeah, why not?
I mean, Max Shrek had long silver hair, which was just a wig in the 90s. I mean, just put the same wig on him. I mean, you basically look exactly the same. And yeah, I really like the character of Max Shrek too, so that would be really cool.
What about
bring Nicholson back?
Billy D. Williams.
Oh, give Billy D. Williams his full shake as Two-Face. I'd be into that. I'd be very into that. Wow. That would be very
WB,
cool.
call us. We got ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, everybody. That'd be so freaking cool. Billy D. Williams. Can you imagine if he shows up and he goes, "Hello, what do we have here?" And then Ezra Miller goes like, "Oh my God, you look like Land." No.
That'd be very meta.
Yeah. Yeah. Billy D. was robbed. That's right. That's right.
All right. Do we have any more stories, or are we going into?
That's it for me.
That's it.
Do we want to bring our guest in?
Yeah. Is she? Have you talked to her at all? Is she coming?
No, I don't know. I haven't talked to her. Make sure she comes in audio. So for those who don't know, we are about to do our full breakdown spoiler review of the hottest, most anticipated show of 2021. And that is... Hey! All right, 1 sec. Sorry. That's my bad. There we go. The most anticipated show of 2021. And that is iCarly. We got to talk about it. And everybody that's watching, if you haven't watched iCarly, stay tuned. Just stay tuned. Welcome.
Hello.
So, what do we think of the first 3 episodes of iCarly? Who wants to go first?
Oh, Michelle in chat says Danielle is my hero.
As I should be.
Planet hero.
Oof. That's what I gotta say.
Oof. Sean, any quick remarks like that one?
I gotta know what you thought first.
I am also with Danielle with a solid oof on this one.
Really?
Yes.
I loved it.
Are you serious?
I loved it. I'm not even kidding. Wow.
Really?
This is one of those moments where it's like we're gonna talk a lot of shit about it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, actually, maybe."
We'll see, because I really liked it.
I have a very strong opinion about reboots in general. They're trying way too hard to get the nostalgia out of you. Like, I don't know. It was too much, like, we're not 12 anymore.
Yeah. So, okay. So first of all, if we had to, each of us had to rank the 3 episodes, how do you think you'd rank them? Like 1, 2, 3.
I think 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I'm trying to remember
Sean.
what happened.
So
the first one is, getting back in the
starts
swing
over.
of things.
Yep.
Second one is the Stalker Nora episode. Yep. Third one is the art exhibition, right, Spencer? Yep. I would go 3, 2, 1.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding. No, I would probably go. I would go 1, 3, 2.
Okay.
That's what I would go.
Yeah,
one is clearly the best.
Yeah.
And then I really liked that they were like, "Oh, welcome back to iCarly. Here's like a cool episode that you didn't think of. Here's I was just like, oh, that's so cool that they're doing like a Spencer versus Carly, like, because that to me it felt like that's a real sibling dynamic that like in the original show, like they would get into a fight or like they would get into an argument, and then like Carly would like yell at Spencer or something, and he'd be like, "You're right, kid. I'm sorry." Right. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. This was like, no, Spencer is a man-child, and this is how a rich man-child would respond to something like this.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so cool.
Sorry, like watching the 3rd episode, I'll be honest, I didn't really know at the end. I was like, what is going on? Like, why are we mad at Spencer? Like, who's offended? Like, I was just very confused by everything. Like, we're walking around this art gallery and we're seeing these different things. Like, oh, do likes make fill your empty soul? It's like, what are we talking about? It's like, this is over a meme because you got memed and then you weren't unhappy with it. And then she continued to make money off of it. So then you're like, oh, let me come after all these people that love social media. And then they come at you and riot you. And then they say, oh, look, there's somebody that doesn't like something. And they go, oh, let's go get them. And then I just was very confused on what was going on. I just really did not understand. Danielle.
Same. Well, clearly
he could. I don't know what.
Like, I understand like the overall thing of it, but clearly he cares about likes too. Otherwise, he wouldn't be caring so much about her getting more attention than him. That's why I was like, okay.
But I think it was Spencer doesn't like care about likes in the internet. Like, I think he was more like, he's like a mainstream artist thing. Yeah, I think he was more like, you're like negatively impacting like all these. It's not about him wanting to get more likes. It's about the comments that were saying like, what the hell is that in the background type thing. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. And then he was like, if like a genuine like art critic sees that, like I'm gonna be like ruined. Like you can't just like have that up there type thing. But at the same time, a lot of this show, I don't know. I just think I just enjoy this show for the fact that it's just kind of, super campy. And like I don't think everything has to make sense because it's an alternate universe. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't exist in our reality.
I mean, don't think they should be filming with a paraphone when
yeah, that's the thing. Me and Daniel are like,
high quality video cameras and.
Think of what we started off with, and now you're just filming with a cell phone. You're telling me Freddie doesn't have a spare camera lying around, considering he's a techie guy now, or I mean, not now. He always was, but.
How do you feel about the Sam explanation? Are you happy with it?
You first, because we kind of talked about this.
Yeah, I was happy with it. I think you had to say something. I mean, it's her wishes is that, you know, she, and I actually watched an interview with gosh, I can't remember. It was some YouTube channel.
McCurdy.
No, it was some YouTube channel, some like it's like GQ or Variety or Vanity Fair, you know, one of those types of interviews, and it was with an interviewer and then with Jerry Trainer and Nathan Kress. And they talked about it. Like Jerry Trainer kind of like took the question when they asked about the Sam thing. And he was just kind of, you know, because him and Jeanette McCurdy, they worked on this together, obviously, but they also were in that video game movie. Yeah, that video game movie together too. So it's like I feel like he like kind of took point on the question, and he was like, you know, it's not really that dramatic. It's just, you know, Jeanette, you know, decided she doesn't want to do acting anymore. Like she wants to move on with her life from acting. And so, you know, we just wanted to respect her wishes. And I think that if that's the case, you know, then I think they did that perfectly. They made a reason why she's not there. They weren't awkward about it. They didn't not address it. And I think it's as good a Sam excuse as any. That's my opinion on it. What did you think, TJ?
Yeah, I thought basically the same as you. Like I didn't, you know, I wasn't looking. I thought maybe they would be like, oh, she's in jail or something like that. Because that's kind of her character's thing. But again, the whole biker gang thing, I thought that was funny. So yeah, I liked what they said. Me personally, I've said this a few times to Danielle. I just don't get the adult vibe. I just don't. I think you could easily say, oh, this is for teenagers, you know, 13 to 16 or something, and you be fine. You know what I mean? Like the worst thing I've heard her say.
What do you mean?
Bitch.
Like you don't get it, or you don't think they should have gone for that?
No, I don't feel them going for that at all. It doesn't feel like that to me. Like I feel like if I were 13 to 16 or something around that age, I could sit down and watch this, and I'd like, yeah, my parents would be like, oh my god, did they just say bitch or something? But it's like, okay, so they have, you know, her best friend now in the show, I guess, is bisexual, who I really do like this character. I find her very funny.
Same. I really like the new characters.
Lacey Mosley plays Harper.
Oh, we'll get there.
Millicent is a different story. I don't know about her.
Okay, yeah, I'll get to that.
But like she is at one point dressed up in that bunny costume. I think it's the second episode, and this is girl running out, assuming they were just kind of hinting that they were just, you know,
about to
having sex or something like that.
Yeah.
But like other than that, and like her saying bitch, like I just didn't feel like it was like. And I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like. I know what I would rather put in there because I don't. But I'm also not writing the show. So I just don't feel.
It's also only the first 3 episodes too. We don't know how.
Right. So it could get more, but from the first 3 episodes, I just don't get the adult vibe. You know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like it's like aimed towards me as a 22, 23-year-old who grew up watching the show.
Really, I feel the complete opposite.
I don't at all.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I just have like a much more immense love of the original show or so, or maybe I'm just right in the right place in my life to accept this show into my life or something like that. I don't know, because everybody's different. But I am such this is so weird. I normally hate a lot of things. I really enjoyed it. I don't know.
They know.
Yeah, let's talk about Millicent and Danielle. Touch on whatever you want to touch on with the new characters.
No, I really like what's the woman's name? I really like her. I didn't know how I would feel. I didn't know anything about her character.
I was really worried about the new ones.
Millicent, okay, I think she's a good, what is she, like 12? She's really good, she's really cute. I think the show might be better without her. I think she's bringing the show down as far as, like, the adult vibe. Like, I feel like that's why it kind of feels like it's still a kid's show, is because she's making those snarky, very much, basically, Megan Parker from Drake and Josh vibes.
Which they even allude
to. So you
in the
think they're
first
trying
episode.
to play like both sides of an aisle, like an adult side and then the child side?
Exactly. Well. I think they're trying to like appeal to a broader audience with
instead
having
of just pick one lane and do that better.
Yeah, and I think if she wasn't in it, it would be more towards like our age or older. But she definitely does make it more kiddish, and it does feel very much like iCarly, but they're aiming it towards the people who watched iCarly, and like we're not the same as we were 10 years ago when we were watching the original. It feels just like the original series to me, which I mean, not that it shouldn't. It just, like you were saying, it's only 3 episodes in, but the way that it's been hyped up and they were talking about it is, oh, it's gonna be so like catered to very adult. But yeah, like if I don't see any more of that, I'm gonna be a little disappointed.
Like I'm waiting for like. I remember, like, when they said that, when they were, like, in that same interview with Jerry Trainer and Nathan Kress, they were like, oh my god, and, like, they were like, the internet exploded when they heard, Jerry, when they heard you cursing, and, you know, Spencer cursing, oh my god, and, like, they heard you say, and, like, all he said was, damn it. Like I was like, that's like, not like.
I throw me a few fucks in there. Like I'll be if you throw some in there.
If she ripped the cover off of the Baby Spencer thing and he went shit, like that would be. I would be like, all right, like that would be funny. Like I'd be like, oh my god, all right. But like he just goes, damn it. It's like in my memory, I figured. You know, they said damn it. Like I figured they already were saying stuff like that. I guess not. I guess that's just, you know, Mandela effect or something. But yeah, I think I think.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just said they're more adult now, but they're very mild about the adultness of it all.
Yeah, and like I said, with that, you know, it is only the first 3 episodes, but the first 3 episodes that they put out should be what set the tone for the rest of the show. So I can't imagine them taking too much of a steeper curve, you know what I mean? Or a steeper drop off more towards the adult side of things than we've already gotten.
And I'm going to be completely honest. I am going to watch the rest. I'm not going to say I'm going to enjoy it, but I'm going to watch the rest just to kind of see how it plays out. I'm interested actually to hear, Sean, one thing me and Danielle have noticed watching these 3 episodes. I don't know who mixed these episodes. But the transitions are loud as fuck.
Yeah.
And then the talking is like, it's like I'm constantly adjusting my TV.
I'll say this one line in particular, which actually I love this scene. When Spencer's blind and Freddy's like explaining the sunset,
right?
And he goes, "Now help me pee." Like that just felt like the old show. But when he said, "Now help me pee," I was like, "Bro, you gotta talk up." I was like, I couldn't hear it. And I was watching it on my TV, like I was just watching it, you know, like normal. And I was like, what the hell is going on with the audio? Like, you are so right. I don't know who did the audio on this, but it doesn't sound bad. It just sounds all over the place.
No, it's just loud and quiet.
Yeah, like it's very weird. Also, I find it very jarring. I understand that TV intros aren't like a minute and a half like they used to be anymore, but I find it very jarring that they ripped out like 2 verses of the theme song.
Okay. I said that when we were watching it. Like right after the first verse, they just cut into the chorus.
Yeah.
And it's also the original. Like she didn't re-record it.
Mm-hmm.
Should have made her re-record it. I would have added a little nice touch.
I feel like people would have been mad either way.
It. Yeah. Can we talk about why was Nora even in that episode? What was the point? It was just to shoehorn in a character that you know of. Is that what the point was?
I think so.
I guess, yeah.
Like
you gotta remember too, like we're working off of like iCarly. Like, we're not working off of like the Da Vinci Code or Hamlet or anything.
I'm thinking
like,
that. I know I'm thinking, like, I'm not watching like an episode of Game of Thrones. Like, I'm trying not to critique it in that way where it's like,
in some ways
this
it's
is
fair.
like
It's
premium
fair to
television.
It's fair to critique it more because it's not just some cheap cable show anymore. It is a high budget, mid budget, I'd say, decently, produced streaming premium show. So in one respect, yes, you're comparing it to the original show, which was very low budget Nickelodeon, standard fare, and now you're comparing it to a premium, paid show. But yeah,
I will say the fact that it was filmed like this most recent February, now out, I'm kind of impressed. Like, they didn't even start until, and it's already out.
Speaking of that, there was like that one joke in the 3rd episode about a pandemic would never happen, blah 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 blah, something like that. I was like,
pause for laughter.
I was like, I don't know, that was a little too close to home. I think I maybe wouldn't have said that, but I'm not writing the show, like I said.
I also don't think that Freddie would say something like that.
Right. According to this IMDb, which again, I don't know how true it is. Neville is in 6 episodes. I don't know how true that is.
So he's like a cyborg or something? I don't know what the hell's going on with
What? Cyborg?
Did you guys see him in the trailer?
No.
Yeah, Neville's in the trailer.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's got like a cyborg part or something.
Oh, maybe I didn't watch the trailer then. I'm going to skip around and see if I can find it.
Oh, I just accidentally went to iCarly.com.
Is that still up?
It's just like the nick.com/shows. Like, it's just like the show page. It's not the actual website. That's a little disappointing. Okay, one thing that I did like, you might be saying the exact same thing. I liked the story idea that like that guy was like a little kid and like didn't get on iCarly. You know what I mean? Because I like the way that they are folding iCarly, the web show, like that was like, I like that we're seeing the real world stuff of like, no, that really was like a humongous thing, like back in the day, like in this universe. You know what I mean? Like Carly, like people know who Carly is. Like, she is a internet celebrity. Like, I like that. I think that's pretty cool because it was kind of weird that like, that was one of the things in the original show was like, okay, they're supposed to be doing this web show for like hundreds of thousands of people, and then she just goes out to like the Groovy Smoothie or whatever and just like sitting there and nobody's like, oh my god, Carly, Sam, Freddie, you know what I mean? Like, in later seasons, like they would like make jokes with like Gibby where like people would be like, oh my god, Gibby, like, but like how everybody doesn't just like recognize them as like some of the biggest like internet stars type thing. I like that this show's kind of touching on that. But yeah,
I liked seeing some of the visual things that you saw in the first rendition of the show. Like, you could see the gummy bears and
I was just gonna say that,
all the Spencer like statues, and then of course the studio itself.
I love when Spencer, she says the Doxtons, and he goes, I have never seen those before in my entire life. It's like,
I'll be honest. I forget. I think it was the 3rd episode when, or no, maybe it's the second episode when she is in the beginning when she's talking to her boyfriend and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna record this," and he literally sticks a phone.
Oh yeah.
In the ampersand sign that's made, and I literally almost was like, I can't do this right now. Like, it was the most dumb thing I'd ever seen. I was like, you're talking to me, Freddie. That was the
first episode. That was the first scene.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the first scene.
The first episode. I was like, you're telling me Freddie can't, like, make, like, a small camera into, like, I don't know, a light bulb or something and just put it in there instead of sticking his phone into the I was like, I don't know. It's just like, again, this is like so it doesn't matter because it's just a show that I watched as a kid.
Speaking of adult, you did in the very first opening scene, you did see like a half naked Spencer.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Like, you did see a full Jerry Trainer.
Yeah, that's true.
Which was a little. I was like, whoa, hang on a minute.
Right.
I was like, what if Marissa walked in? That could have easily been Mrs. Benson. I mean, she would have, shat herself. I don't
her
even
thing
know.
was funny. She was in the one episode for like 5
She's got to
minutes,
be
but
in
I
it
thought
more.
funny.
Yeah, she's got to
No,
be
I
in it
know.
more.
No,
What
I
the
know.
hell?
The exact same as she did before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
She
a
looks
little.
the exact same. She looks.
I
The
was
exact
a
same.
little like stuff like that. Like I would like to actually see them kind of change. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Oh, what they do to Nathan Kress's hair? They should help him with that one.
Oh,
come on, man! What? Freddy's never had drip, ever.
do you never remember he would wear?
I need another Freddy dance like moment from that episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the best episode, or the best like one scene that I remember.
So
oh my
funny.
god!
I
said.
Oh.
Sorry, we're gonna be going on a little longer, but or a little long. But I said we need. I think Drake Bell is actually incarcerated right now, so he can't come. But I said we should have gotten like Josh or something on the show, maybe.
Or we should get like Crazy Steve, make it work. I don't know how they would.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. That'd be
Crazy
so funny.
Steve meets Spencer. It would be one of those things where like Crazy Steve and Spencer like meet each other, but they don't register at all that they look identical.
Right.
Like that would be so funny. But yeah, I'm just excited to see where this goes. I hope that it actually builds more like upon itself. Like I would like it to take a little bit more of a little bit more of like a serial approach to it. Like build on the story. Like have a story actually like come together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Not as much episodic, as the original show was. I think that would be a cool way to do it, and that would be a cool way to say, hey, this show's a little more for adults. Not doing it with the writing or with the tone, but doing it with, this is actually a premium show, meaning like there's going to be a season-long story type thing. Like I think that would be very interesting, and that would be a way to show like, okay, this is for adults, because like kid shows, like they don't do stuff like that. So I think that would be really cool for them to do. But let's talk about the elephant in the room after this. What's up?
And I think maybe just dive in more into the adults kind of topics and themes that shows do. Give me a little bit more of maybe her friend kind of, grappling with what it's like to be a bisexual person,
or all of Freddy's divorce.
What is it? Or Freddy's divorce. Yeah, give me something to that. Like he's twice divorced. Like give me something with like his ex-wives, or just something. Like not just like, oh, he's taking care of this kid he adopted and that's like about it, and he lives with his mom.
Yeah.
I get it. That's not really adult, I got. Like it is, but like I don't see him like crying in the corner like, oh my god, I need a job or something, Because right now I'm pretty sure he's unemployed.
One thing that I thought that you could have done to kind of rework that I thought would have been funny actually is do it more like without Millicent. So imagine Millicent wasn't there. Like if Spencer, like I don't know how you would write it to make it work, but I thought it would actually be a funnier dynamic if Freddy had to move in and like live with Spencer, because now it's just kind of like, and now it's just kind of like, okay, Spencer's the only one that lives there. Like, why? Like, they're still going over there. Like, I get that, like, he's got his apartments all fancy and, like, redone and stuff. But it's like, I don't buy as much the reason that they're always going to Spencer's house. You know what I mean? Whereas the original show, that was well and truly, clearly the home base for everyone in the show. Because Freddy was right next door. Carly lived there. Sam was always with Carly, that kind of thing. Whereas now, it's like, okay, Carly's coming from another floor. Freddy's coming from across the hall. Harper is there. Like that kind of thing. I thought it would have been funnier, especially because I really like the dynamic that they're building with Spencer and Freddy as being kind of like bros. Like I really like that. I think it would have been funnier if it was like the two of them had to live together and seeing that kind of comedy unfold, kind of like an Odd Couple type style thing. I think that would be really funny. And it would be funny if Freddy had to keep coming up with a reason why he didn't want to move back in with his mom. Like, why she would be like, well, why don't you just move back in with me? Like, I'm right here. Like, and he'd be like, oh, that kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
I just thought that would be, because in the initial trailers, I thought maybe that's what it was. I thought that maybe Freddy was living with Spencer. But yeah. Oh, yeah, so let's address the elephant in the room. When or are we getting Gibby in this show?
We aren't.
You don't think ever?
I'm pretty sure Noah, whatever his name is, said, like...
His name is Noah Monk.
Yes. Very much like Jeanette, he's, like, ashamed. Well, he's more embarrassed. Like, people still make fun of him for being Gibby.
I just don't understand how
come
people,
back
like...
and kind of own it, though.
Yeah, if they, like, don't make him take a shirt off and they make him, like, successful or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that'd be crazy, like, if he came back, he was, like, jacked, like, had a great life. Like,
I think that's the only way to do it. Just be like, all these other people, all the other characters are just falling apart. Like Carly, she's got the breakup, she's trying to get iCarly back off the ground. Harper's a mess, Freddy's a complete mess. Spencer's doing great, but he's still Spencer. And then you just have Gibby come in and he's got his total life together. He's got a perfect girlfriend every week or something like, something like that. Maybe that's how you bring Gibby in. Maybe Gibby lives with Spencer.
He's probably married to Emily Ratajkowski or whatever, that model who played girlfriend in the... I don't think if he were to come back, it definitely wouldn't be unless like this is renewed for another season.
Oh,
let's
not this
season. Let's talk about that real
sure.
quick. What are the odds that this gets renewed for a second season?
Very high.
Really?
I think so.
I don't think so.
They probably could crap out this show, man, in like 2 seconds.
That's true. I can't imagine how much
for this.
Costs, but
yeah. I think it's and most of these streaming shows have to get picked up to be profitable.
Right.
Like most of them have to have at least 2 seasons to do anything.
I know they won't like obviously say. I'd just be interested to see what the viewership numbers like.
Let's see if there's any info.
I want backstory on like Freddy's dad. Like all that stuff. I want to know why.
Did you like how they addressed like Carly's mom and like that whole thing where she was like the guy was like, oh, and what does your mom do? And Carly just goes, next question, like because they just never talk about it.
Yeah, I want them to like dive deep into like their personal lives too. I think that will help me like it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm just looking for. Just give me some more adult themes, topics, in every episode of something, and I think I'll be more on board. A lot of the jokes just have not even landed for me. There's a few of them that I'm like, oh, that's funny, but like a lot of them are just kind of, I just need to feel like I'm not watching a reboot of the show I watched when I was 12.
Yes.
To give you an idea of the popularity of the original iCarly, there was a total of what? Okay, sorry. A total of 6 seasons. Get this, a total of 6 seasons and 109 episodes were produced. However, 97 episodes were aired.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact.
Missing 12 episodes.
Fun fact, iCarly premiered on my 11th birthday.
There you go. Well, speaking of 11, that's what I was going to say. The amount of fandom that is out there for this show, the single highest, so this is just like for the premiere of this episode, the single highest, largest audience of the series for viewership on one episode, 11.2 million viewers tuned in to watch the special episode I Saved Your Life in January of 2010. 11.2
Okay, but you're
million.
not telling me the numbers that people are watching now.
Well, they don't have it. That's why I was just looking it up. Well, I'm just saying the potential audience that could be there.
Right, yeah.
I mean, this was a huge... this 11.2 million viewers for an episode of iCarly. The Oscars only got 9.2 million this year. I mean, that's... You're talking about crazy numbers right now.
But when the numbers do come out for like these 3 episodes, of course it's going to be super high because everybody was curious, like what's it going to be?
I'd be interested to see the retention of it, where it's like, oh, all these people are watching it every week to week, you know. But
iCarly Reboot is a realistic adult show with sexual situations.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that yet. Maybe if there's like a you know, an episode called like iSex or something like that. But
like I think the only time they ever referenced it was really when the roommate with the bunny suit. Yeah,
and that was it. I was like, okay, and even that, it's like a very just like, oh, you know, we're kind of getting into it. This isn't Nickelodeon anymore. This is Paramount Plus.
I think I think there's I think there is a very high potential for a better product in a season 2. I think they can take all the feedback. They can figure things out, and you know, honestly, you know, she's a sweet actress. You know, she's nice and everything. But if Millicent really does stay very annoying, I mean, people don't stay throughout all shows all the time. You know, like it's something that can be written.
We want a battle,
huh?
We want a custody battle. We want to see Millicent's like realistically.
And Spencer can be the lawyer because he went to law school.
That's what I was
for
just
3
thinking.
days.
Like, give me Spencer Shea Esquire.
Yeah.
But realistically,
Michelle, right here. The Office had a bad first season. 100% correct. The first season of The Office was 6 episodes. The viewership was terrible. Looking back, it was, you know, it's The Office, so you love it. But, you know, compared to the other ones, it's a completely different show. And then in season 2, they pivoted completely and they launched themselves into crazy success. Sorry, Danielle, what were you saying?
I was saying realistically, like, she wouldn't be living with Freddie. Like, it was her stepdad that adopted her that now doesn't have a job and lives with his mother. So something must be going on with the mom.
That is exactly what I was wondering. I was like, how is this a stepdaughter that he's divorced and still has custody? I was like, how does that work? Like, let us know.
Maybe, I don't know, we want to wrap up soon. Last thing, I think me and Danielle agree. I don't know how about you, Sean. I think they should stick Freddie and Carly together.
Oh, Team Cruddy, all the way.
And that will do it for episode 48. Team SETI all day, man. Cruddy,
oh, my Lord.
Cruddy can never happen. No, I'm just kidding. Cruddy all the way. SETIs, we don't appreciate you here. You're not welcome. Everybody is welcome at the PFN except for SETIs. But yeah. They got to do it. I mean, you have to. Right?
I think you do. I don't know why you wouldn't.
We've been waiting 10 goddamn years. Listen, if we cannot get Zoe and Chase Matthews, we have to at least get Cruddy, okay? I can't take both losses in my life, okay?
I at least want them to address it.
Yeah, I think
even if nothing comes of it, I want them to talk about it.
I mean, they kissed like 5 times in the last season. Like they were all over each other. And then that goodbye, that was a full-on romantic like exchange. Right before she left. And I get that she was gone, I get that she was in Italy for like a long time. Like I get that they explain that in this. Like she wasn't just there for like a summer. Like she was there for like what did she say? Like 5 or 6 years, right? Like she was there.
She leaves with her dad, right? That's what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get that like they had that exchange and then they didn't see each other for like years, but still. I mean, they were probably talking and like, you know, video chatting and stuff like that, but still, it's got to be addressed and it's got to be the end game. Cruddy is the end game. And that's it. That's it.
Maybe you have like Carly, or maybe you have like Carly getting married to Freddie and you have like Nora come to the wedding, like the Graduate style, like pounding.
Or maybe you have Carly and Freddie getting married, and then that's when you bring Sam back. Jeanette's like, I'll do it. Jeanette's like, I'll do it. No. She said, SETIs unite. All right, I mean that'll do it for episode 48. You heard it here. Hashtag SETI, hashtag Creddy. Let us know where you lie in the comments down below. Heck, maybe we'll put a poll up on the Twitter at the official PFN on Twitter. Might do a SETIs and Creddies Facebook poll. Or Facebook poll? What year is it? Twitter poll. But yeah, Danielle, do you have anything to plug by chance? Anything that you're currently working on or going to be posting in the next 48 hours?
Oh, sure. My podcast, Rants on Fire, available on all streaming services. Mm-hmm. And it's on Twitter, Instagram, Always a pleasure.
Boom. And I will promote too if you are interested. Speaking of her saying, Danielle, you are her hero. My mother, Michelle, who's a longtime listener. Yeah, there you go. She got a podcast of her own going, Two Old Broads. Believe it or not, I was going to, but she's doing it all herself. She's doing the editing and everything. I was going to help her, but I couldn't get there in time because I was working so much, so she did it all herself. Check it out, Two Old Broads. It's her and her friend Jackie. She's kind of talking about life. I think they have one episode talking about life and then one episode reviewing Shark Tank products. So that's pretty cool. So check that out.
Scrub Daddy.
The Scrub Daddy, yeah, most profitable in the show's history. Fantastic. All right, let's go around the room right now. Favorite shark before we close. Robert Herjavec, right?
Mine, yes.
TJ. He's gonna say Kevin.
He likes Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna say Kevin. I knew it. I literally I knew what Danielle was gonna say, and I knew what you were gonna say.
Barbara, what always the jokes of the I'm out. Just say I'm out.
You're a man, and for that reason, I'm out. But I'm gonna tell you why.
Barbara does make funny TikToks too. If you ever see them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, you sent me that one where it was like, "You want me," and then it was Kevin, and she went, "No." That was so funny. But yeah, I would say I would go Robert number 1 and then probably Barbara second. But yeah, fantastic.
Oh, no love for Mark in here, right?
Well, no, Mark's good too. It's just he's Mark Cuban. He's got enough money. He doesn't need my affection. But yeah, Damon I feel can be a little abrasive at times, unnecessarily.
He's too much for me.
What about
Lori?
Lori, yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
Oh.
Yeah, she's good.
I actually really like some of the newer sharks they brought in too, like Daniel, right? Is his name?
I haven't seen new.
Yeah, I haven't watched the new ones.
Oh, you guys.
Is Ashton Kutcher only on the one episode?
Yeah, he never came back.
Oh, okay.
He might have been in more in that season, but he was never past that season. But A-Rod has been in it a couple seasons.
Okay.
But I would say out of the guest sharks they have, what's his name? Daniel Lubitsky. He's the one that does the Kind bars, that kind, the Kind granola energy bar type things.
Did they have the Ring guy come back as a shark?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is
he was on Shark Tank, right?
Yeah, but he never got a bite. That was one of the biggest losses. That was one of the biggest losses in the Shark Tank. Yeah.
Billions of dollars or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's the Scrub Daddy was the most profitable, but the Ring was the biggest.
I wonder if he was he was just laughing in their face. I told you.
Probably. Oh, the whole episode that he was on there, yeah. They were he was like, "Oh yeah, imagine what you could have had." That kind of thing. He's sitting there richer than Mark freaking Cuban. Not richer than Mark Cuban, but richer than a lot of the other guys.
A lot of
people. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. Let us know. Hashtag SETI, hashtag Creddy, hashtag who's your favorite shark. Let us know. We're asking you a lot of things. But most importantly, throwing back to the beginning of the episode, let us know what are your takes on roller coasters. How do you guys like that? What are you expecting out of Shazam 2? The Flash? What do you think's going on with the Ahsoka show? Who do you think they're casting? What do you think that show's gonna kind of look like? What was the other thing we talked about? There was 3 things.
Batman.
Oh yeah, and then more specifically with the Flash, what do you think about how do you think Michael Keaton's role is going to be? Do you think it's going to be big, or do you think it's going to be more like a cameo? Let us know all that stuff below, and check out, like we said, kind of our 2 sister podcasts, if you'll say, Two Old Broads and Rants on Fire. What episode are you guys at for Rants on Fire?
I I think we're about to hit 40. I think we're at like 38, maybe 39.
Boom. Look at that.
Yeah, haven't missed a week.
Boom.
Most recent is 37.
Okay.
Nice. Look at that. You guys we're gonna have our 40 and our 50 like on the same week.
Nice.
Yeah, so let us know. And also let's start saying already, because we got 2 shows left, really. Well, really only 1 show in between it. What do you guys want to see for our 50th episode? We're thinking maybe like a look back, or maybe we'll just do maybe we'll try and do a show that's all like our friends and maybe past guests calling in. Like maybe we'll get Danielle in, Brandon in, maybe we'll get Chris on, that kind of stuff. We'll see about how people's schedules are, but we'll just make it a little bit of a retrospective for 50 episodes. I mean, like we've said, it'll be the 50th episode of this show, but in terms of videos and episodes of all of our shows combined, we are well past 250, 300.
No, really? Well past 250.
Bro, we're at like maybe 250. We're at like 70 PFN reacts. If you include the PFN reacts and everything too, we're up there. Maybe not 250, maybe like 200. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, and we're not stopping anytime soon, which is good. Oh yeah, rest in peace, Renee Robert. Shout out.
R.I.P.
Passed away. Buffalo Saber. Look at that. Go get your Timbits. All right, I'm going to stop talking now. Is there anything else anybody wants to say?
No, you were just playing our outro. Let's go.
All right. Goodbye.